In a gritty neighborhood just north of downtown Los Angeles is Homeboy Industries. This is where gang members, tired of violence, prison, and life on the streets, can find a way out.
Once you're tired, once you're ready, once you're willing, we will help you jumpstart your life so you can leave all that behind. Omar Perez is home.
This is Father Greg Boyle. He founded and runs the biggest nonprofit gang rehab program in the country.
A bullet wound to the head is a tough thing to kind of recuperate from.
Among this morning's announcement, a reminder of the violence that plagues gang territory.
My brother-in-law and his family, they were killed this weekend. They mistaken him for somebody else. So they killed him, his wife, and his 6-month-old child.
Are you on probation?
Yes.
Okay.
Over 2 decades, Father Greg has buried 167 young people. He realized he needed to do more than conduct funerals, so he started building what he calls an exit ramp.
You ask any gang member of the United States of America, name one thing that would help you. You wouldn't find a gang member who said something other than job.
But it was hard to convince employers to hire former gang members, so he took a different tack. He started a business, Homeboy Bakery, and put them to work himself. Today, Homeboy Bakery brings in more than $1 million selling to restaurants and caterers. In the wake of the bakery's success, the popular Home Girl Cafe was born. Former gang girls serve up fresh Mexican cuisine using ingredients from their own garden.
Look at that earthworm, look.
Would you like a bag, ma'am?
They also run a small gift shop and printing business. In all, 120 homeboys are trained or work in 4 different enterprises, with all the profits going to the program.
Think about just after work, just do a couple hours.
But a job is only the first step in changing lives.
Just show up. What completes the whole thing is this is a community of unconditional acceptance.
Luis Colosio was looking for that acceptance. Luis grew up without a dad. His cousins were in gangs, and it didn't take long for him to follow.
I started selling crack cocaine at the age of 14.
You were using it as well?
Yeah, eventually I became my best customer, you know.
Eventually, he got arrested. He was so desperate, he begged the judge to send him to prison.
That was the best time of my life. It showed me a lot. God opened my eyes to see that the gang life and that lifestyle ain't what it's cracked up to be, you know?
One night in jail, he was watching TV and saw a story about Father Greg and Homeboy Industries.
So I was just in awe. And then I get out of jail, and then I come to the new building.
It wasn't easy. Luis relapsed twice, but Homeboy Industries didn't give up on him. What drew Father Greg to work with society's outcasts? Maybe it was his own strong upbringing.
2 great parents, 5 sisters, 2 brothers, jobs every summer, private Catholic school. And I can state with certainty that as a teenager, I wouldn't have joined a gang. For a fact, I could say that. But that fact doesn't make me morally superior to all these men and women here, because I've never had to carry what they've had to carry. The burdens and the trauma and the damage and the navigating of horrible things.
Father Greg's first assignment was working with the poor in Bolivia. They made a deep impression on him. When he came back, he asked to work in the poorest parish. They gave him East LA, the gang capital of America. Each year, 12,000 young people come through the doors looking for counseling, high school degrees, and this. Free tattoo removal helps former gang members transition to outside jobs. But even success stories can end in tragedy. Chico was a gang member who Father Greg helped break away. He was excited about a new future. But then a drive-by shooter put a bullet in his neck and paralyzed him. Father Greg visited him in the hospital.
And I think to myself, the good news is he's alive. And the bad news now is that he knows enough to wish that he weren't. So a week passed, and he just couldn't do it anymore. And he died, and I buried him. But this was a kid who discovered the truth of who he was, that he was exactly what God had in mind when God made him.
As for Luis, he seems to be on track to a better life.
I've been sober 2 years now. You know, and if I can go to schools and speak of my yesterdays to impact their tomorrows, I think I've done my job. I think Homeboy Industry has done their job, because Homeboy Industry is the biggest gang rehabilitation in Los Angeles, no. California, no. In the world.
See you tomorrow.
Bright and early.
Father Greg says he's done his job if he can get young men to drop their gang masks and discover the truth of who they are. And when they do,
no bullet can pierce that, and no 4 prison walls can keep that out. And death can't touch it.
Okay.
All right, then, Father Greg.
Thanks. You're the greatest.
I'm Val Zavala for My Generation.